Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live stream, this pre-event webinar for the Study in the Czech Republic National Fair that is going to happen next week on October 14th. I'm very glad to welcome here Clara from the Study in the Czech Republic. We've been working together for the past months in putting this event together, and we do think that so far we've been doing a good job. But let's wait for next week's event. Clara, would you like to say something before we go forward into the demo?
Sure. Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming and watching us. First of all, the webinar will be recorded. So I will send you the link that you can actually watch it later on if you don't have the time now, or you can send it to your colleagues that you know will participate in the National Fair as well. It's a very good tool now because you are going to see how it all looks like, the platform, what you can do with it, how you can chat with the students, and to kind of get yourself way more familiar, because I know that some of you haven't really done an event like that. So definitely take the full advantage of it and go and have a look at it and play with it.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Clara. Indeed, we will be sending the recording afterwards, so you can share it with your colleagues. I know that some of you attended an event on our platform before, so you might be familiar with it already. But in case you haven't, no worries. We'll just run through all the features in this session, and then, of course, you'll be able to ask any comments, any questions that you may have at the end. So let's not take any more of your time. I will first start by showing you the landing page for the students, where the students register. This is something that we've developed together with the Study in the Czech Republic, based on the brand guidelines and based only on their requirements. Also, the registration form for students, is everything done according to them. And I must say I'm very happy with the final product. Let's bring on this. So this is basically how the website looks for students. Study in CZ.online. This page contains all the information necessary for the students prior to the event. So why the Czech Republic, how they can find the best programs. This is the information about each institutions that you have actually uploaded. So this is taken directly from what you've been uploaded. So they can see here a bit of info and the video as well. And then we also have an FAQ part for the students, where they can see how they can navigate the event. Any questions, anything that might be useful for them, they can find here. And at the bottom of the page, and this is very important, about the privacy policy, where we specifically state, and we cannot emphasize enough on this, that we, and by we I mean our student-facing brand, the Student World, is only the provider of the technology and the data handler of this event. But the event is organized by Study in the Czech Republic, and all the information, all the data stored from the students belongs to the organizer, to the Study in the Czech Republic. This is written everywhere in the privacy policy, and we make it clear also in the registration form for the students. So we don't use this data in any way, but it belongs to the Study in the Czech Republic. And of course, after the event, you will all have access to the students that visit your booth. But the organizer, in this case, will have access to all the students, all the student leads. And then, before going into the actual demo platform, I would like to just shortly explain the difference between the FPP Hub and the virtual fair platform where the event will happen. So these two are two different systems, and I know that sometimes it can be confusing with two different login informations, and then who has access to the FPP Hub, who has access to the virtual fair platform. We do this on purpose because we have to do this based on the privacy policy and on GDPR regulations. The FPP hub, where you build your information, is your focal point for the institution. So the FPP hub account belongs to University XYZ. It doesn't belong to John or Jonas from the university. No, it belongs to the institution. And this is the point, this is the place where you build your booth, and most importantly, where the students' data will be available after the event. So it's exactly as you would prepare your participation at an in-person fair. You are in the office, you get your materials done, you designate the staff members, you get your plane tickets, you do all the logistics. Everything is done in this central point. And in the end, in the same central point, after the event, the students' data is being analyzed. For the virtual fair itself, which is a different platform, you can have any person that you would like to attend. So for example, it can be an agent, or it can be an alumni, or it can be a partner in the area. But these people should only be present at the virtual fair. They should not have access to the FPP hub. That's why it's very important to make the distinction between these two. And that's why you had the representatives tab under the booth setup, just so you can designate the staff members that will be present at the virtual fair. I know it's not something that's very convenient, because two different logins, and then if we have more events, then for each event will have to be a different login. It's not something that we'd like to do, because we know it can get confusing at times, but we must do this in order to respect the GDPR regulations. Okay, now I will go into the demo platform. So firstly, I will show you the student side of the system, see how the students can navigate the platform, and then I will move in Exhibitor side, and that's the most important part for you, and especially how the communication will happen between the students and the exhibitors. So basically, this login, this registration page on the day of the event will change into a login page. So 1 hour before the event, we will have this. Everything will change to the login page, with the students having the possibility to still register. So the registration will still be open to students even after the event has started. They can register up until the end of the event. So now let's log in. Please keep in mind that this is still just a demo platform. So from here, for your event, we're missing the background image here in the lobby. This will be changed until next week. We didn't have the actual time to do it, but all the information for the exhibitors and all the information that we uploaded is now synchronized into the system. And I will get back to this a bit later, because in the next few days, you'll be able to enter and test the platform yourself. So this is what the students will see when they log in to the virtual fair. And here, if for example, from Colombia or from Mexico or from any Spanish-speaking country in Latin America, the platform will be automatically displayed for them in Spanish. If they connect from Brazil, then the platform will be displayed in Portuguese. Just for the demo purposes, let's keep it in English. So the platform is multilingual, and the students can always choose the preferred language of the system in which they would like to see the whole platform. Once they enter the event, they have a few options for navigating the platform. The first one would be the Pavilions tab. So under Pavilions, we will see that, for example, here we can create multiple pavilions. This has not been decided yet. It's still under construction, so don't worry. These are not the final pavilions yet. But under Pavilions, for example, we can group the institutions by different level of programs. And the advantage is that compared to an in-person fair, here we can have one institution into multiple pavilions at the same time, offering them a higher visibility. So this is one option for the students to navigate the system. The order of the institution here is generated randomly. So each student coming in, they will have a different view. This is just so we avoid giving advantage to certain institutions in front of the others. And this is a good point where I can show you how the platform is fully mobile responsive. So if we shrink the screen, then we go to a mobile version where everything moves on a vertical in a vertical format. So the students can still navigate to the different pavilions. They can still access the menu and access the institutions. And it's also available in an iPad format. But of course, we do encourage the use of a laptop or a computer. And it's the same for the institution. It's the same on the exhibitor side, but there especially on the exhibitor side, we recommend that you use a laptop or a computer because it's going to be harder to keep track of all the chats you have with the students. Another option for the students to navigate the list of exhibitors is through the exhibitors list. Here they have different filters that they can choose from. Again, this list is generated randomly. There's absolutely no preference in how we list these universities. It will be different for all the students coming in. And we also have a general search engine here where they can search by name, profile type, courses, and by location. Also for the students, we have an info button here with the FAQs on how does the event work, just common questions for them to be able to navigate the system faster. And we have a help desk here where we will have our team online to assist them throughout the event. And this help desk will be available also on the exhibitor side. And it's not just a chatbot, it will actually be our team online to assist you. The students also have here what we call a virtual backpack, and we'll get to this when we visit an exhibitor. But basically, it's exactly as a student would walk into an event hall and then going to different booths, picking up different materials, but not having the time to go through all of them during the event. So here in their virtual backpack, they can mark items as favorites, and they can review them in their accounts later. So now let's say that I've been looking for an exhibitor and I found a study in the Czech Republic. So I would like to go and chat with them. I entered the booth, and this is exactly what I see as a student entering a booth. For now, I see this automatic message saying that they are currently offline, but if I have any questions, I can easily type them here. But for now, I don't want to write anything. I would just like to explore this booth and find more about this particular exhibitor. So I see some about the exhibitor information here. I can read about them. I can mark them as favorite. So this is how the favorite button works. I see some photos here. I can explore. These are 2 photo albums, so I can explore some of these pictures here. I can mark them as favorite. I can see the videos that they uploaded. I can watch the videos directly here. Mark them as favorite as well. And also brochures, I can mark these as favorites, and I can also view them, and they will open for me in the browser. Something very important that I didn't mention is that everything is web-based. There is no need to download any apps, any plugins, any extensions, anything. So we just need a good internet connection, and preferably Chrome or Firefox as a browser. So once I saw all these materials, I marked them as favorite. I can then move to the next exhibitor, for example. See, I have here Tomáš Bata University in Zlín. Moving forward. So this is how the students can navigate through the different universities. And before moving to the exhibitor, this is it on the student side. So it's very user-friendly for them. It's very intuitive. The students can only engage in a chat only in writing. They cannot initiate an audio-video call. That's only an exhibitor that can do that. We'll get that in a second. But before we move to the exhibitor side, are there any questions on the student side? Any questions, please write them down in the comment box. And if not, you can type in your questions at any time, and then we will take them one by one at the end, just to make sure that all the questions have been answered. No questions? Okay. Then we're moving on to the exhibitor side, and here I'm actually going to log in with your login information, Clara, for the event. So when you enter the event, all the login information will be given to you a little bit later today, so you can come in and test the system. Again, as I said, it's still in a demo version, the platform, so don't worry, the logo here will be fixed. But the important part is the content on the page, and this is exactly what you will see every time you log in. So I would like to kindly ask you for the next few days, 2-3 days, after we send the login information, please come inside here, log into the platform, and make sure that you run this system check and that everything works well for you and you are comfortable with the system. That's why we have that deadline to build the booths, because after you provided us with the information to build the booths, we have to take everything and import them into the virtual fair platform, because as explained, there are two different systems. Once we have imported this and now all the information is in the platform, we can give you access, so you can come in, and it's basically like visiting the event hall before the event is happening. So we can still make changes to your booths, or we can still add different materials that you have, or maybe you have a brochure that's being developed now, or you have a last-minute change of stuff. Please send us all those requests and we will make those changes for you, but it has to happen in these testing days. So once we run the system check, is basically just to make sure that the system that you use, the computer, the internet connection, the proxies, the firewalls that you have do not interfere with the system itself. And something very important for the day of the event, please do not leave any of the apps or programs that might use your microphone and camera, such as Teams or Zoom or Skype or anything that might hijack your camera and microphone. Do not leave them open, because that can impede your communication with the students if you want to engage in an audio video call. So let's quickly start the system check. Everything looks good. Go to the event. And now that you are in the platform, this is exactly what you will see that the system looks on the exhibitor side. You will see that it's less graphical, but it's more analytical, and it's more focused on the communication with the students. Basically, under the Home tab, you will see, again, as the platform being multilingual, it's also multilingual on your side. So you can choose your preferred language in which the platform should be displayed. Here, as I'm logged in as Clara, I can see my 3 colleagues here, Nicola, Cristina, and Teresa. I can see that they are all offline because they have that red ring around their icon, and my status here is online. This is very important. The status that you have during the event is very important, because this will influence the flow of students that you have coming to you during the event. The platform has been created in a way and designed in a way that will try to distribute the students equally among the 4 representatives. So once the student has come inside the booth, they will be automatically directed to one of you. And I will give you an example now. So moving to the student side, when I previously tried to enter the booth, I received a message that they were all offline. But now that I connected as Clara, I will see the message coming in from Clara automatically, saying that welcome to our booth. It's an automatic message, but please type your question and we will chat with you live shortly. So this is a message. We cannot personalize this message. It's just something that we've created in order to engage the student into a conversation. So everything that we did with the platform was trying to replicate the actual experience at an in-person fair. So this automatic message is exactly as a student would pass by our booth, and then we as exhibitors would approach them and say, hey, how are you? How can I help you? Would you be interested in more info about our institution? And this is when the student can actually engage in a conversation. But moving back to the status, so here, now that I'm the only one online in my booth, if we have 10 students coming to our booth at this moment, all 10 students will be directed to the exhibitor who is online. If we have the other representatives online as well, the next criteria for distributing the students is based on the language that the exhibitors speak. So if we have a student from a Spanish-speaking country connecting with an IP from Colombia, for example, and the system knows that their preferred language is Spanish, then they will try to connect the student with the representative who is online and speaks Spanish as well. And the next criteria for division and for assigning students to representative is the number of chats. So, for example, here, Nicola and Christina, they both speak English. If they are both online and the next student comes in, if Nicola has 5 chats and Christina has 3 chats, then the next student will be assigned to Christina. So this is something that we've done in order to try to keep a balance in the number of chats that each representative has. And the most important part of the fair, and this is where you will be focusing a lot, and this is where you will spend most of your time, will be the booth chat. This is the chat that the place where you will have all the chat with the students. So this is the most important part of the event. So here I see the automatic message that went from the system to the student. And I can see that the student already wrote something, and I can reply back. Here on the exhibitor side, you will see that you have many more options than the students have. Oh, for example, the first option that you will have, if you get a specific question regarding one of your programs, and you know that you have a brochure uploaded already with this kind of information, you can share your booth materials. So the button down here will allow you to share your booth materials. Again, these are materials that were pre-uploaded to the booth. So until now, we cannot share in the platform external materials. But all these materials have been added to the booth, and you can share them with the students directly in the chat. So simply click on this brochure, and then you can tell them that check this brochure. It has all the information that you need. And you can do the same with the video as well, and with the pictures. And then on the student side, they will all show up as a suggestion. So they can simply click on open brochure, and that will open for them. And they can also play the video, and then the video will play here. Again, everything that we do from the exhibitor side towards the student, they are suggestions. So we are not forcing the students to watch a brochure, or another feature that was requested a lot was to transfer the student to another booth. We implemented that feature, but we didn't implement it as a direct transfer, but we implemented it as a suggestion. That's because we didn't want to interfere, and we didn't want to influence the students' navigation within the fair. Because also in an in-person fair, if they ask you something about a program that you don't have, but you know that some of your colleagues do, you don't take the student and you put them in the booth. You just recommend them, hey, you can go and chat with them. And then it's the student's choice if they want to do that or not. So that's why we have this option here, recommending or suggesting another exhibitor. So if Clara here gets very specific questions about a certain program, then she can easily point the student to, let's say, Prague University of Economics and Business. And on the student side, it will show up as a suggestion. So it didn't change directly, but there is this suggestion for the student. And if they click on Visit Exhibitor, then yes, they will be taken to that particular booth. Some other options on the exhibitor side. We also do have some emojis here to make the communication a bit more impersonal. there's a transfer visitor option that allows you to transfer the student within your booth to one of your colleagues. So if a student is looking for an undergrad program, for example, and you are in charge of postgrad, then you can easily transfer the student to one of your colleagues who would be more appropriate to handle that student. Simply select your colleague, say Teresa, type a short reason for transferring, and this reason will only be visible to you and your colleague. This is just so we let our colleague know what's this about. Transfer the visitor, yes, transfer now. And this is when my colleague Teresa will receive the student. And when they receive the student from me, they will also be able to see the whole conversation that we had with them. So they don't have to answer the same questions as we did. And on the student side, this is the only moment when the student will see another exhibitor. So the student will initially be directed, as I said, automatically to one of the reps, and only in the moment of transferring, they will be able to see a second representative as well. They can still communicate with Clara, but now they also see Teresa. Okay. Also on the exhibitor side, if you go with the mouse on top of the student, you will see that this student is in a private chat now with me and with my colleague. And something very important, there's a star rating here. You can rate the student 1 to 5 stars, and you can add your own notes or comments about this particular student. This will be personal, only visible to you and your team. The student will not see the star rating and the comments. And this information that you put in here, together with the student profile, all the information that was requested in the registration form for students, all this information will be available to you at the end, well, one day after the event in your FPP hubs. There's also an option to block the visitor, but we recommend doing that only if a visitor is being disrespectful or inappropriate in their language, in acting around the fair. We do emphasize on trying not to block a student. We've had cases in the past when students were blocked because, for example, they were asking for a program that the university did not offer. So the university deemed that student not relevant for their programs, for what they were promoting, and they thought about blocking them. So they did that, but blocking a student will basically take away their chat functionality. So the students will not be able to chat with any other institution in the event, not only with you. So we only block the students if they are disrespectful or they are using an inappropriate language or behavior. In any case, our team will be online and we are always available at the help desk. You can tell us and then we can check with the student, and we'll also check with you if there are any such issues. We hope not. Another very important point on the exhibitor side is the call visitor function, and this will allow you to have a video call with or an audio video call with the student. Again, everything happens in the platform. Everything is web-based. This is how it will open for the exhibitor. And again, on the student side, they will have to accept the call. So we see that as a student, I've been invited. I need to accept this. And everything will open on the browser. So this is how the video call looks on the student side. This is how it looks on the exhibitor side. The exhibitor here has the possibility to share the screen, so you can do that. I'm not gonna do it right now because we're gonna end up in an infinite loop, but you can share your screen, and the same options are still available. So you can, while chatting with the student, you can still recommend materials. So perhaps you can share some of these materials. If the internet connection is not stable on either side, they can both both you and the student can turn off the cameras, and then this will result in having only an audio call, and that sometimes this works very well. And both of them can terminate the conversation at any time. Visitor ended the call, no problem, done. So let's say that once you are done with the student, archive the chat, and this will keep your chat bar clean here. But that doesn't mean that the student cannot come back to your booth. Again, just like at an in-person fair, you finish the conversation, thank you very much, have a nice day. The student goes around the event and they come back because they forgot something. And then they will come back. Sorry, just one more question. And then the chat will be reactivated on your side with all the history that you had. So archiving will only keep your screen clean, because at the top here, visitors chatting with you, you will have a lot of different icons of the students who are in your booth. But archiving will keep this clean, will not terminate, will not kill the conversation with the students, because they can come back at any time. And something that we've recently introduced, I'm not sure, maybe some of you have used it, some of you didn't, it's the group chats. And this is a very important function, especially if you are overwhelmed with one-on-one chats here. So all these chats are private. Oh, and something important to mention, all the communication that is kept in chat is being recorded and will be available in your FPP hubs. So as opposed to the traditional in-person fair, where you would have to take a lot of notes and maybe remember a lot of conversations with the students, here you don't have to do that, because the system does it for you. So everything that is kept in writing, all the communication, will be stored and saved in your FPP hub accounts. So let's say that you receive here, Clara receives a lot, maybe 5, 6 different students, all asking the same question or a question around the same area. So instead of answering each student individually and typing the answer 6 or 7 times individually, she can create a group. And then you can simply go to new group, type the group name, let's say test, and then you select the students that you would like to add in this group. They will all show up here. You create the group. And then on the test group, you see that you have 1 visitor and 1 is pending. Why is it pending? Because on the student side, it will show up like this. And again, the student has to agree to join the chat. As we said, we don't want to interfere with the student's navigation, and we don't want to force anything on the students. So that's why we gave them the option to choose to join or reject. So here, the student will simply have to click on join chat, and now they are in this group chat. And on the exhibitor side, I can see that it's no longer pending, so this exhibitor is in the group. The same options are available. You can still share materials, suggest another exhibitor. You can call the group, and this will open like a small conference call with the students that you have in the group. You can remove students from the group, and you can add visitors to the group. So for example, while you are in a group chat here with, let's say, 5 students, on the one-on-one chats, you still receive questions from the students who are being assigned to you. If you come out of the group and you see that some of the questions are related to the group chat, then you can easily add visitors, maybe search for the student name, and then you can add them to that group. Once you add a student to an existing group, they will be able to see the history of the conversation. So perhaps they can already get the information without you having to say it again and again and again. So this feature should help you because it's in a beta version and it's still quite new. It's limited for now to 1 representative and 10 students per group. But this can still make your life a lot easier during the event. Perhaps some of the students will choose to leave the group, and then you can keep a continuous group between 7 and 10 students at any time. That's totally up to you how you wish to control the communication, and it's up to you to decide how you can handle and how many students you can handle at the same time. And this is a good point also to mention again the status. If you have a lot of students chatting with you at the same time, you can simply click on busy, and then the platform will slow down the students, the number of students that are being sent to you, or you can mark yourself as offline, for example, if you need to take a break, or that if you feel that you cannot take any more students in your chats. Being offline will not prevent you to continue chatting with the students. So you can still do that. It's just while you are offline, no new students will be assigned to you. It's just that it's important that if you, when you come back from the break, if you set yourself as offline, or if you feel like the flow of students slow down for you and you are able to take more students, it's important to change back to online, because otherwise all the new students will be assigned to your colleagues and then they might be overwhelmed. So that's why it's important to always keep an eye on the status here. And with the groups, the same thing as with the one-on-one chats, you can simply archive this group and archive the chat as well. And I think this was it on the communication part between the students and the exhibitor. As I said, if you have any questions, we'll be at the help desk during the event. So absolutely no problem. You'll see the system is easy to use. It's user-friendly, and we'll be always there to assist you. Clara, is there something that you would like to add? I feel like I've been talking forever and there are no questions.
No, I think you covered it pretty much all, Zoran. So thanks for that. And I think that I can really confirm that the platform is super easy, friendly, and it's quite efficient as well. So, and to be honest, it has never crashed. Just knock on the teeth. It would not be good to crash now for our event, but it's not one of those that crashes all the time. So I'm sure everything will be okay, and we will enjoy the Czech National Fair.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Perfect. Well, there are just a few more things that I would like to cover here on the exhibitor side, the different tabs that we have here. But we did cover the most important part, and that was the communication with the students. So moving on, you will see the team chat. The next tab, it will say that you are in a public chat, but this is actually a public chat open only for you and your colleagues. So this team chat will be open only for these 4 representatives. As I mentioned before, we encourage you not to have any other platforms or programs that might use your microphone and camera open during the event. So that's why we created this channel for internal communication. So you can communicate here with your colleagues during the event, and this is closed to everyone except for the representatives in the booth. Here we have the help desk. We'll have our team, as I mentioned, on site to assist you anytime. You will have a My Visitors tab, and here you'll be able to see all the visitors who are currently in your booth and who visited your booth in the past. So now I am under current visitors, but if I leave the booth, I should move to past visitors. So this will change according to the students' navigation within the fair. We have some statistics, again, very interesting statistics, your booth statistics on the day of the event. So you'll see the total amount of visitors that you had, how many are currently in your booth, some age and nationality breakdown, and areas of interest, and how your materials have performed, how many times your videos, brochures have been viewed and favorited. And all this information, again, will be available at the end of the event. Your FPP hub under the form of a report. So you'll have access to all this info. There is a notifications tab here. You will basically see the announcement that we send from the help desk, general announcements about the event, like that's about to start or it's about to finish. Also, we can send different different messages during the event to engage the students. But the best way you can make use of the notifications tab is to send a new notification. And if you write something here, this will send a message to all the students who are currently in your booth. So sending a notification is just like picking up the microphone and sending the same message to everyone who is currently at your booth. It can be an example when all your representatives, if it's the case, they are offline, you can send a message saying that to the students. Or if all of you are very busy and overwhelmed with chats, you can send a quick message here and send a notification to the students telling them that you're busy and there might be a delay in your answering. And this is very important. View your booth and navigate the fair. This is available only on the day on this testing. This is what I meant about coming into the fair and testing in the following days after we send you the login information, because here is when you can actually see your booth from the student perspective. So the chat function is disabled, but you can still navigate the system. And for example, now you can tell us that this video should not be here, or maybe please remove this one, or add another brochure, or please change this title because it's not appropriate. So all these changes have to happen this week. So please, after we send you the login information, come to the event platform, run a quick system check, and then visit the booth as you would experience it as a student. So in this way, we make sure that everyone is comfortable with the system on the day of the event, and we don't have any technical issues or any unexpected surprises. Another reason why we must have that deadline for building the booth. And I think this is it as well on the exhibitor side. If you have any questions, please let us know. We're here to help you. And yeah, it's a good moment now since we've run through the demo. You now saw the platform. Any questions you may have, please let us know. I don't think there are any questions, are there, Clara?
No, I can't see any. Probably everything's clear. So, well, that's a good thing.
I'm glad. And one final piece from our side, in terms of student registration and promotion, we are close to 3,000 registrations now for the event, with around 10 days before the fair. So that's a very good and encouraging number. We're going to push the promotion now in the final week or so. And we do expect a good number of students to show up on the day of the event. Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions, well, everything was clear. Great, perfect. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks everyone for being here today. Again, we'll share the recording with everyone. You can also share it. It's the same link. It's on YouTube, so you can share the same link with your colleagues. If you have new colleagues attending the event or someone who didn't use the platform before, please share with them the link. I'm sure it's going to be very useful for them to see how it looks. And then again, please log in the next few days and let us know if you'd like to have something changed. If you have any questions, we'll be here to assist you.
Absolutely. Like, if you have anything on mind, just drop me an email or Zoran, and we'll definitely be able to help.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Clara, for being here.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for joining today, and we look forward to a successful fair. Take care, and have a nice rest of the day.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.